Let's Play ChäoS Child. In the last episode, well, things came to a close. Katsuko Momose used some favors and resources to help keep Aoba Dorm and Aoba Clinic up and running in the wake of Wataru Sakuma's death. Uki Yamazoe and Yuto Tanabashi are getting along quite well. Hanai Arimura and Hana Kazuki are still hanging out at the newspaper club, even though bio writes the club shouldn't even technically exist at this point. And Serika Onoe is a perfectly normal person who has come to take Takuru Miyashiro out on a rehabilitating walk. Okay, no, that last part wasn't true, especially considering the fact that A, Takuru was being held in a prison hospital since he was ostensibly the prime suspect in the second wave New Generation Madness killings, even though he wasn't even the culprit, he was just somebody who was framed as such. And second, Serika Onoe pretty much murdered the prison security guards in order to get him out of there. So in other words, Takuru's attempts to turn Serika Onoe into a perfectly normal human being, it didn't work. It did not work. But enough about that. You may be wondering, well, you finished. Why are you still here? Well, if you've been paying attention at the end of the last episode, you will know that we are far from done with Let's Play ChäoS Child, as I shall demonstrate here via the extra menu. We have our tips, we have our library, but we also have this, the ending list, of which we have achieved one ending over Sky End. And as you can see by this completely shattered and broken looking glass, there's still a lot more to do. We still have a lot more to do. But before we get into any of that nonsense, well, gonna do the bad end first of the common route, as it's referred to. I'm of course going to be using notes that I've taken from the ChäoS Child fandom walkthrough guide. I'll be posting a link to that in the video description for your perusal if you're interested, but it should go without saying that without that guide, this Let's Play probably would have ended prematurely, as I would have never figured out how the hell to do all this. Yeah, in a nutshell, there are still more mysteries to be solved that lie at the heart of ChäoS Child. But given that's the case, there is going to be a lot of jump cutting, because unlocking all these different routes and endings is going to take a while. So I'm only going to show you the more pertinent moments to save both yourselves and myself especially hell of a lot of time. So without further ado, going to go down the bad ending of the common route, so I shall see you all shortly. Alright, adventurers, we've reached a very crucial point all the way in Chapter 4. We need to be here in order to apologies for that mildly jarring interruption there, but getting back to my point, something that I hadn't gotten around to explaining up until this moment is the fact that from here on out certain events will actually become important. Because in addition to the delusion triggers experienced by none other than our protagonist Takuru Miyashiro, there is another type of trigger that occurs when Takuru is trying to explain or connect information connected with the case. The latter is referred to as map triggers, and this is one of them. Now originally, what you're supposed to do is, well, what I did in the main Let's Play is, because Serika overheard Mio and Shinjo talking about psychics, what we're supposed to do is choose that the victims had special powers. But this is the bad ending, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, if we select mind tricks or aliens from outer space, we have to do this twice. So we have to get the wrong answer twice in order to get the bad ending for the common route. Yeah. Again, jumping back to something I was saying a moment ago, was that apparently the first playthrough of ChäoS Child, you can screw up as many times as you like, and nothing bad will happen. Even though the game constantly quick saves at moments like this to remind you that, hey, this is going to be important somewhere down the road. Although it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what, unless you happen to check a handy-dandy guide like I did, just what that importance might be. But yeah. But once you unlock the basic ending, not only does that unlock the character roots, but that also includes the triggers, both the delusion and map triggers that are needed to go down each and every one of those story routes. Yeah. And yeah, basically to recap all that, because in the main LP I got the correct answer, we're going to choose the wrong ones. They're Jedi mind tricks.
思い返してほしい。未来がわかるという大谷。妙な魅力があったという高柳。そして顧客の心が読める柿田。あまりにも出来すぎな写真の数々を撮影した渡部。それらはすべて他人の心を掌握するため何かトリックを使っていたと推測することができる。
Yeah, when you think about it, that doesn't make sense, but
トリックって
一石舞踏。つまりこういうことさ。まずは未来が見えると言っていた大谷だけれど、例えば彼がメディアの人間とつながりがあれば、まだ世間が知らない情報なんていくらでも手に入れられる。これを餌に自分があたかも預言者であるかのように振る舞うことも可能だろ。そして妙な魅力があったという高柳だけど、そもそも彼女は何度も路上ライブをしていて、すでに多少はファンがついていた。一度ファンになってしまえば人間なんて単純なもので、あの人には何か引きつけるものがあるんだという自己催眠をかけるものなんだよ。顧客の心が読めるという柿田だけど、これは単に信頼できる取引を続けていけばいいことなんだ。そうすれば客は勝手にあの人は我々が欲しがっているものを理解してくれていると思い込んでくれる。
You know, I was actually gonna skip this, but actually, from a surface perspective, well, from a sanity perspective, this actually Takuru does actually lay out very convincing logic.
そこまで断言できるなら証拠はあるのか？
But of course, it all comes down to that magic word, proof. But then again, we're not looking for the right answer this time. We're looking for the wrong answer. Ito hit my argument in one of its weak spots.
それは
Even though, from a rational perspective, it does make sense.
それは？
ないけど
Unfortunately, Takuru can't come up with the answer because that
な
isn't
い
the
んじゃ
correct
しょうがない
answer.
だろ
もう一度考え直した方がよくない？
I was so sure too. Yes, and that means that they... Well, you know what? Aliens from outer space it is. It's what happens when you choose the blatantly wrong answer.
被害者は全員地球外からやってきた異星人だったんだよ。なんだって？
God damn it.
って言えばいいのか？宮代記者。
Yeah, that was too far-fetched. Come on, I was just trying to lighten things up a little.
俺だってわからないことぐらいある。
Well, stating that fact out loud actually means that you're actually wiser than I gave you credit for, Mr. Shinji Itou.
って言ってもいいんだぞ。
言わないよ。
I should rethink this. Looking up.
タク、どうしちゃったの？
Yeah, he's having a bit of a brain fade, I'm afraid, Serika.
一度ト
Also,
イ
I
レで
don't
顔を洗って
trust
く
you.
れ。
Yeah. Call it intuition. I don't trust you anymore.
おう。あんまり無理しなくていいぞ。
いってらっしゃい。
I don't trust you either, Mr. Shinji Itou. Yeah, it's been a long day. I felt a little better after washing my face with cold water in the bathroom. Maybe I've been overthinking things earlier. Now that I had a chance to refresh, I should try looking at things from another angle. And then suddenly someone bumped into me from behind. They didn't hit me that hard. I'd only staggered for a moment and hadn't been knocked to the ground or anything. But whoever they were, they clung to my back and didn't let go. Very peculiar. At least apologize or something. I tried to turn around to tell them that. And then I felt my back start to burn. Like how a single drop of water creates ripples that spread across a pond. A ripple effect. The heat spread across my back. And once it spread out far enough, it suddenly turned to pain. Well, this isn't good. Yeah. Because we made the wrong choices. Bad things happen. It hurt. It hurt bad. It felt like fire. I never felt anything like this before. Pain. That's a lot of pain. It's very painful. Very. God damn it. So much pain. I'm sure you can count how much pain Takuru Miyashiro is feeling right now, but I'm not going to. Well, what happened? Yeah, we made the wrong choice. I couldn't even stand. I crumpled to the ground, unable to bear the pain. I didn't have the strength left to turn around and see who was clinging to me. I reached out to touch my back, and my uniform was wet. No, the whole back of my body down to my pants, to the top of my pants was wet. It was like I'd pissed myself, but that isn't, Was there anything more embarrassing than peeing your pants when you were in high school? That's not urine, Takuru. Why was it wet? I didn't know. I couldn't remember wetting myself, that's because you didn't. I didn't feel like I had to go to the bathroom at all. Very ominous metallic sounds there. Very ominous. I could see the dull gleam of a knife in front of me. The knife was red with blood. Yeah. Takuru has been stabbed. And then I knew. I've been stabbed from behind with this knife. Stabbed? What kind of joke was that? An unfunny one. I was at school. Why would I get stabbed at school? Maybe because we didn't do things the way we ought to have. My body had crumpled and it wouldn't do what I told it to. I could only move my legs in spasms, as if an amateur puppeteer was trying to control me. It felt like I'd been thrown into a thick liquid. The strength was draining from my body. I was having trouble focusing. All the sounds around me faded away. I somehow managed to move my neck. At least I can do that much. Using all the strength I had, I turned around to look at the person who'd collided with me. And then I felt a powerful impact on my nose. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the cold floor. They kicked me in the face. Who does that? Well, I already know the answer to that question, but... It felt like there was a lot of snot coming out of my nose, but maybe it wasn't snot. Maybe it was blood. I couldn't breathe through my nose. I kept trying to snort the blood back in and it kept pouring out. My vision started to turn red. I didn't know whose voice it was. I couldn't tell. But I know. I know who it is. Who was it that stabbed me? Yeah, because we didn't play by the rules, Takuru Miyashiro's life has been ended. What had I done to disappoint him? Someone tell me, please. No matter how much I tried to scream, no one would ever hear me now.
なぜ殺した
Yeah. Spoiler warning, if you haven't been following this LP up until this point, which I really hope you have, you really should. Serika Onoe isn't to be trusted, like I said.
こいつは力不足だったんですよ。
Two wrong answers.
宮代拓を殺していいのは私と宮代拓だけだ。
でも
思い上がるな犬だ。
You know, Serika, killing Shinji Itou won't deal with the creepy puppet master who's controlling him.
ごめんね、タク。飽きさせちゃって。
It wasn't boredom that killed Takuru Miyashiro.
私がもっとタクを楽しませてあげられなかったばっかりに。ごめんね。
And we failed. Common root bad end. Enough. I'm disappointed. Achievement unlocked. Yeah, that was definitely anticlimactic. But well, at least I didn't have to piss around much longer. So we look at our ending list. Oh, it's not added to the web of fractured glass. Fair enough, because it is a bad ending, of course, not a proper ending. Dead end. Adventurers, we can finally start the character routes properly next time. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.